With the release of Ashura, I got a couple of requests of two things. First would be to update the rankings of the super impacts, which I'm doing right now in this video, and the other is to actually make an updated like top best free-to-play units, which I haven't updated in a while because it hasn't been a lot of units that have come out that are free-to-play and would like move the list more. So I was waiting, but Ashura did in fact move the list a little bit more than I expected. So I am gonna be updating that free-to-play tier list or free-to-play best units list very soon. But now I'm just updating the rankings of the worst to best super impacts. This is gonna be a PvP only list. I'll briefly talk about PvE as well, but of course the PvE part would be for the rankings of the free-to-play units anyways for the other video, but again, I'm just gonna talk briefly about that. Ashura, of course, is an actually pretty good unit. The rankings you're gonna be seeing is from right. This is actually the day after I decided to cut off that recording because I was getting too rambly on the units, and I was getting things mixed up. I was like, oh, actually this unit is better than this one. Actually, this one is better. So I was messing up my my ranking. So I decided to re-record. I'm gonna keep that intro though. So moving on, we have the worst of the super impacts, which is Kisame. Kisame, you can see from right to I already put him up here. The ranking, if you just want to see that, from right to left is from worst to best. The worst one is Kisame. The sole reason why Kisame is so bad is because he is a 3 and 6 unit. 3 and 6 units are designed so you would get the ultimate. Like Blazing Bash Minato, if you get the ultimate, he is like a GG on any character that you ult, because even if he doesn't connect, if the character dodges, you're just pushing him back and taking off true chakra from him. Like he's a one-shot KO pretty much. Kisame, it's impossible to get his ultimate because he has 31k health. That's nothing. That's nothing. He's just gonna get one-shotted. So he's just a bad unit. In his normal jutsu, he's really bad. He's a 5 times towards 1. Knocks them back 45% chance of switch stealing for 2 turns. Reduces their chakra by 1. Here's the thing. Because he has such a low attack stat, that's no damage. That's literally no damage. Only 45%. Like, reducing their chakra is okay, but like a lot of these units already have that. And they do much more damage. And they have more health. So he's the worst one. There's literally zero reason why I would use him. He's not even fast, so he's by far the worst one. Moving on to Killer B. Killer B has a lot of the Kisame traits where he has no health. He is a little bit better because he's quite fast, and he has a higher attack stat and a higher multiplier, so he does more damage. He does more damage than Kisame. That's why he's a little bit better. At the same time, he's still really bad. There's zero reason why you would use him. 40% chance of speed reduction. That's not good. Like, if he had like a 80% or something like that, okay. But 40%, that's nothing. Reduces their chakra by 1, as I said. A lot of these units have that for some reason. It could be useful, but most of the time, you're just gonna get like basically one-shotted by Final Valley Sasuke. Like, Final Valley Sasuke does what? 27,000 damage on bravery units if you have the 40% increase. If the guy either crits or does like another normal attack, like a combination attack, you're dead. So there's no reason to use Killer B. He's just really bad. Now moving on, Tobirama is probably the first unit that is usable, and at the same time he's not. The reason why he's usable is because he has 30% damage reduction. That is actually quite good. If you consider that his health is actually not that horrible, the 30% damage reduction, like, it scales up, right? Because it's not like it's just 41k health, of course. You can also increase the health by the 30% damage reduction, unless of course you're going up against a unit that ignores damage reduction. But then at the same time, the unit that ignores damage reduction is going to be destroying every unit that has damage reduction. It's not Tobirama's fault. But the thing about Tobirama that makes him better than these two, but also worse than these, is because he does do a very decent amount of damage in the unit that he has to do damage, right? In the body unit. I haven't tested him out because when he released, I was like, this character is not good. I'm not gonna farm him. I don't even want to farm him. And PvP was not on. PvP was offline. It was down, so I could not test him. I should test him. I probably, because when he released, PvP was not available. But nowadays, I should test Tobirama on PvP, but just from these stats and what he does, you can already tell that he's not going to be a good unit. 7.5 towards one body unit, that's okay, but what if the enemy doesn't have a body unit in the front? Or at all? 5.5 towards all the other elements, he's doing like almost as much damage as Killer Bee, but he doesn't even like take off their chakra or anything, so he really has that bad thing. The only real thing about him, as I said, is the damage reduction. The damage reduction really gets him. Also, if you can have a 25% chance of resetting, but literally, if you jutsu with him, you're not gonna have him again, because look at how slow he is. He really is very slow. So, because he's a skill unit also, most of teams that you face are gonna be using Final Valley Naruto. That's a fact. He's gonna be destroyed. He's just gonna get destroyed, so... yeah, he ranks in the third worst one. Moving on to the Sasuke, he suffers the same thing as Tobirama of being a skill unit, because Final Valley Naruto is just even too prevalent nowadays. So he's just gonna get destroyed by Final Valley Naruto. But at least the Rinnegan Sasuke packs a good punch on any unit, and not only that, he also rolls them back. So he has a 6 times towards 1, knocks them back, and rolls in the speed gauge. And the speed gauge roll is so useful sometimes. Like, there are a lot of scenarios, right, where your unit is gonna get outsped, then you just jutsu and you outspeed the other one, and maybe you kill because of that. So he could be very, very useful. That's why I rank him above Tobirama, Killer Bee, and Kisame. He can be actually useful, and he packs a good punch on body units. Does he one-shot Blazing Bash Itachi? I think he gets near one-shotting Blazing Bash Itachi, which is still a quite prevalent unit. Like, Final Valley Sasuke is a quite prevalent unit, so he's a body unit that you can really do some good damage on. And you can make the same argument for Tobirama, that you could also do some good damage on. But at the same time, it's like, you're also rolling them back. So he really is a better unit than these three, but at the same time, he's not better than these. Then we have Naruto. Naruto, I would say his pack is worse than Sasuke's, but because he's a heart type, he gets a little bit of a bonus because, as I said, Final Valley Naruto is just so prevalent. And Final Valley Sasuke, even if the enemy is using Final Valley Sasuke, if you have like dodge behind this Naruto, you can dodge with him. And he also has body damage reduction. Oh, does Sasuke have heart? He does have. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Never mind this argument then. But if you have like a little bit of dodge, most of the time you dodge Final Valley Sasuke's jutsu. There's one thing about Final Valley Sasuke's jutsu that is like, it's gonna be dodged for some reason, but... And also he's quite a speedy unit, quite a little bit. He has the same speed as Killer Bee. He can be your speed lead for like the first row, and then you have Gaara in the second row, because I've seen that one good strategy that a lot of people have been using is using a not so speedy unit in the first row, but it's a little bit tanky. And then the second row they use the very speedy unit, because you have like 2 turns in a row without your enemy playing. So you could use him in the first row, like because he's a little bit fast, and then switch up. His normal jutsu is what gets him, what makes him like a little bit good, because he boosts his speed. When he released, this was actually quite good. Nowadays, because Final Valley Sasuke is so prevalent, it really isn't that great anymore, because every single team is using Final Valley Sasuke or Blazing Bash Itachi. But really, he could be a very good unit. That's why I placed him above Sasuke and above these units as well. But at the same time, I couldn't place above Ashura, because Ashura is a very tanky unit. 54,000 health. He could be a very good unit for your team. He doesn't have the highest speed, 292, but that's not as bad as like Kisame or Killer Bee, because like Kisame has a little bit more speed, but he has like 20,000 less health, right? So Ashura is much better than these units. And not only that, when he jutsus, he heals. So you could do the strategy that I just said, right? You put him in the first turn, and then when he gets there, you switch up. But when he comes back, you can jutsu, and you're gonna be healed up, and your enemy is gonna be facing Ashura that has full health again. So he could be a very useful unit for a lot of teams. I reckon a lot of free-to-play players are gonna be probably using him on their PvP team, just because he's actually a viable option. It's not like Tobirama, Killer Bee, and Kisame, where you're just gonna lose if you use them. He could be a viable option, and I can see people using him in a way that he could be useful. Not only that, he has the good trait of having a jutsu hitbox that is very long. The hitbox is a long range, and it's very, very fantastic. Other than that, he doesn't have anything special. He does heal for 1000 per turn. That is incorrect. It's not 400, it's 500. So if you have him in the back, he's going to keep healing, and he's going to be building up more health if he lost some. So he could be a very useful unit. I couldn't place him above these 3, but he's certainly better than these 5, which is a good thing, because free-to-play players need some better PvP units. So Kaguya places above him because of her jutsu. So here's the thing about Kaguya. She's not the fastest. She's a little bit tanky. She's not as tanky as Ashura, but she's a little bit tanky, 45,000 health. Her normal jutsu is an AoE that reduces chakra. A lot of maps, you can do the AoE. A lot of maps, even on Kage League, you can hit more than one unit with this jutsu. And if you're taking down their chakra, like if he's using the skill Madara strategy, you just take out skill Madara's chakra, how is he gonna jutsu? He can't jutsu with skill Madara, he can't ultimate. So she's a really good unit. Ignores substitution, which is huge, because units that substitute are so annoying. And you can reset. Normally, you're gonna use her jutsu, and she's, again, not the fastest. So you're not gonna be able to use her ultimate most of the time. She's probably gonna die. But at the same, you can. the borderline, you can. Not gonna happen most of the time, but you can. So she's actually a viable unit. She's legitimately a viable unit, and it's better than these. I was gonna place Ashura higher than her, but like literally Ashura doesn't have anything other than being tanky, right? At least Kaguya, she takes out multiple people's chakra. Not only that, she could be a viable tank as well, just like Ashura. So she's actually a legitimate option. Now the top 2 you all know, like it had to be them. Obito is really, really good because of dodge. Like 30% chance of dodging is really good. Unless of course you're going up against a character that ignores dodge. But he's a fast unit. 257. Is this correct? No, it's 277. 377, right? I think... Oh. This is my JP that has him. Like, I'm gonna be opening this on the side. I think he has 377, not 357. I'm pretty positive. This is incorrect. But, oh yeah, it's because of the boost speed by 20. Okay. It's the ability of boosting speed. I'm sorry. He has 377 speed, so he's a very fast unit, and you can use him as your speed lead. That's why he's such a good free-to-play unit. You don't have to have Gaara to excel in the speed department. So he can be a very, very viable option, and he also takes their chakra just like Kaguya. Like, as I said, a lot of these free-to-play units just take off their chakra for some reason. And again, he could be a very, very viable option for free-to-play players that don't have a speed lead. He is an insanely good unit. And Sasuke, do I have to speak about Sasuke? Do I have to? Do I have to? He immobilizes your enemy forever. He has a 90% chance of immobilizing because of the abilities. And the 2 seconds, because you extend it, the 2 seconds last forever. Like literally, it's not 2 seconds, okay? It's like 5 minutes. It lasts forever. And if you get a reset with him, he has a 30% chance of resetting. You can just do it again. It's dumb. It's literally retarded. He's like one of the, like, honestly, he's like top 3 best PvP units. Like, it's Minato, Blazing Bash Minato, Rage Obito, the Blazing Bash, and him. Like, these are the top 3 best PvP units in the game. And he's free to play. You see a lot of people using multiple of him because literally, he's just too good. And also he boosts speed by 10 as a buddy, which is also helpful. If you're in a speed fight, right? You have your unit against the other guy's unit. You're boosting your unit by 10. The guy doesn't have the boost. You're gonna win. So he's just one of the best PvP units in the game. And if you're using multiple of him, I hate you. So this is the updated list. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe.